No one ever talks about why A-level English literature contains the assessment objectives that it does from AO1 to AO5, but there is very good reason for it, and it's what we call new historicism. Now, over a decade ago, when I first started teaching A-level English literature, lots of the documentation explicitly referenced new historicism, which is a literary theory that underpins all of those assessment objectives. Now, nowadays, you will not find it in any of the documentation because exam boards worry about being accused of a particular bias, going, well, you know, A-level students should be prepared for university where they're going to engage with lots of different kinds of theory. And as a result, you will see lots more critical theory being brought into the general curriculum basis. But new historicism is this idea that all texts exist within a bigger historical framework. History is not some immutable fact, and texts are not isolated from that historical context. There is a constant interrelationship where texts are writing history and history is writing texts, and all of that is ongoing, and it explains why, yes, you're going to do your AO1, which is literally reading and understanding, your AO2, which is exploring how these meanings are generated, how these power structures and historical ideas are embedded into language, and then your context, your other voices, your comparison, all of that is showing that everything that feeds into a text creates something that is greater than the text itself, and that is why we need to include context. It's why we need to include other texts for comparison. It's why we need to include literary critics. All of those ideas feed into this one, which is that literature does not exist in a vacuum, history cannot be fully known, and neither text nor history can exist without the other. That is why we study the way that we study at A-level. It is entirely artificial to combine this approach with a more kind of a new critical approach, which is much more kind of focused in the text as isolated from everything else. And so what they've done is they've kind of sandwiched together literary theories that have no place intersecting as they do. This is not doing English, this is doing A-level English. When you get to undergraduate, as many of you will be shocked at the way that literary theory is expanded for you in your mind. Crazy times.